Good morning, everyone. Oh my gosh, it is a beautiful, beautiful spring morning today. Ali has gone to play golf. I was going to be riding this morning, but it hasn't worked out. I may well be riding this evening. Fingers crossed. But sometimes life is life and you just don't get to ride when you want to. But it is blooming lovely to be home. We did have a really lovely time at the Newt, and Ali and I really enjoyed spending some time together away and just like switching off for a little bit, having fun, being absolutely ridiculously silly and childlike to a huge degree, and just having fun. It was really nice. And it was good to have been able to visit. We've never been before and it's been on our list to do, so we absolutely, I'm happy to have ticked that off my list. One of the things though, I have to say, I'm gonna play it by ear. I don't want to put all of my eggs in one basket and all of a sudden start saying that this is the best thing since sliced bread, but you'll know I very easily get unwell. I don't have a very good immune system, and so when I started taking colostrum, oh my goodness, I was like, this could be amazing if it actually does help with my gut and also help with my immune system. If you didn't see, Carrie was rather unwell when we did my birthday wine walk, and the next day my throat started scratching and I really started to feel like under the weather. When I was en route to the Newt, I really started to feel unwell. But I made sure that I'd doused myself, not doused myself, but like I'd really stuck to having my colostrum. And so it was almost like I sort of went under and then my body went, no, and I bounced back. And that is unheard of for me, especially when like enjoying wine and drinking and things like that. Usually if I start to get ill and I drink, it literally like plummets my immune system. That's not happened this time. I don't want to get carried away with myself, so I will monitor this next time. But so far, I've just repurchased and I'm on my second load of colostrum, because if that is my answer to my immune system, I am happy about it. I have some jewellery from Gingerberry. This is one of my most exciting unboxings of the season when I get to unbox Gingerberry with you, because you know I wear their pieces religiously. These are their honeymoon earrings and you'll often see me wearing these. These have become a bit of a classic in my wardrobe. It's also a brand that a lot of the girls in the office wear as well. Like, my assistant has the most beautiful stack of necklaces, most of which are Gingerberry. She sort of feeds them in with pieces that she's already got. And that's what I think is really wonderful about Gingerberry, is that they have like those higher price point pieces that you can wear for special occasions. They also have those pieces that you feel really comfortable to wear them every single day. They also have really classic takes on jewelry as well, which I think is my personal favorite. And they have their new Spring Garden collection, which, you know, when I was walking through my garden this morning, I was thinking, wow, what a dream to work on a campaign and a collection that is called the Spring Garden. Whilst walking through my spring garden, Ali and I did our first spring walk through the garden this morning together, which is something that we really love to do. And we were just like, how have we created this? We've actually created something so special, and it was worth every penny. And so we were fully appreciating what we'd built here and how much we love living here and how beautiful it is. So yes, I thought I could get into my Gingerberry delivery with you, because as you know, I love these so much, and I know that I've seen so many of you wearing these and loving these as well. The reason why I like these, okay, is because they are like, they have like this modern twist to them, but they're also a little bit more understated than other double pearl earrings that I've seen in the past. Like, this is a little bit smaller, so it works really well for just a subtle hint of a pearl behind, and I just think they look so elegant but still really modern. And they're also, I always say this, really comfortable. So I'll link these down below. I literally wear them all the time. They're like my classic pearl equivalent, so I'll link them down below. Oh, before we get into it, I've got a discount code as well. So my code is Lydia15, and that will get you 15% off, but that can also be combined with Gingerberry's Mother's Day offer that is running from the 11th of April until the 30th of May, I believe. So those two offers can be combined, and I honestly can't remember these kinds of things, so bear with me. My brain just doesn't work in this way. I'm going to read out the offers for Mother's Day because there's a few, and my brain, when it comes to numbers, just goes to mush and I just can't remember them. So it is $15 off of $400, $25 off of $600, $40 off of $900, or $60 off of $1,200. So, and that is up to 20% off basically. You will also get worldwide shipping. It also comes beautifully packaged. So if you're thinking for gifts, Mother's Day gifts, I know Mother's Day is different in the UK to other parts of the world. Mother's Day gifts, birthday gifts, bridal shower gifts, bridesmaids gifts. If you're getting married this year and you're looking for the perfect gift, I mean, pearls, always a classic. So many options, and I think this is really important. You can buy with confidence because they do really easy returns as well. So you've got 30 days. If you don't like something, you can return it, which I think is just, it means you can try them, you can see what you like, see what suits you. Lovely. These are the boxes that they come in, okay? And I'm gonna unbox some of them with you. I'm gonna try and be really quick. I'm gonna try some of them on with you because these are always like my favorite types of videos, and I love jewelry. I love the impact that it has on an outfit and a look, but you'll know that my relationship with jewelry is changing, and I just want really lovely pieces. So this, so I wanted this bracelet, absolutely stole my heart. Look at this. So this is a double pearl bracelet. Look at the sheen and the iridescence of those pearls. The quality is unbelievable, and what I loved about this is that it also, like, this is just such a work of art. This is such a special piece. Look at the details on that clasp. So not just have you got this beautiful stack almost, it's like a bracelet in a bracelet. Everything's always gonna look lovely. Oh wow, this is so beautiful. And you can wear them individually as well. So this is like, oh my gosh, this is like 3 bracelets in one. So you can have a dainty, delicate pearl, little pearl number if you want to just add that to your stack, or you can go for a slightly bigger pearl, or you can go for both. If you're a bougie moo, you can go for both, and I definitely think that, you know, I'm the latter. This is the iris bracelet. So you're getting like 3 bracelets for the price of one. And what I love about this is it's just over $300. So it's about $339. With my discount code, you are going to be getting such value for money. The pearls are AA grade. This is also sterling silver. It is absolutely beautiful. This could make such a beautiful present as well, whether it's for a bridesmaid, mother of the bride, just a birthday gift. I love that. And it just adds to my stack perfectly. You know that that is staying on forever. I'll link this down below as well. And it also takes all of the work out of it because everything comes packaged. So if you're giving gifts to your bridesmaids or something like that, then what a wonderful idea to just have everything come packaged, ready to go. It's a job off of your list if you are getting married this year or next year, for example. So these are the earrings that I'm wearing at the moment. These are the honeymoon earrings. Again, they come beautifully packaged with gold bows, all of the beautiful gingerbread branding. You don't even have to think about it. And I guarantee you these will be one of those pieces that's like a workhorse in your wardrobe. And so a really great piece to buy someone if you want, like, my favorite thing is buying people things and seeing them wear them and love them. And if you know someone loves pearls and classic details, this is such a perfect gift. And what I love about gingerbread pearls is they're like 1 in 1,000 because they are so intricate. They have little tiny imperfections in them, but that just shows the natural nature of the pearls, and I think that's always a little bit of character to your jewelry. I like something that you can tell has been beautifully made and beautifully crafted as well. This one, this is a necklace that I absolutely fell in love with, and I feel like I definitely need to add something to my necklace stack because this combines one of my favorite earrings from their previous collection, where it has these marquee style diamonds and then this teardrop pearl and then little diamonds throughout as well. It's almost got like a delicate peachy pinky hue to the diamonds. Oh, it makes me so happy. I love jewelry. We've got a few more bits in here. Okay, this necklace is so beautiful. This is almost, sorry, I'm like looking at it and not showing it. So this is their fruitfulness necklace, and these almost look like little leaves. It's almost like a vine. It is so beautiful. It's got gold vermeil and again AA grade pearls. Such a classic, style because it's got more of like a sort of low choker style, I think. I love pearls that have gold clasps. It's my absolute favorite. I think it just looks so beautiful and it almost warms up the pearls. So you could wear this with a necklace stack really, really easily if you wanted to bougie it up a little bit, but also add a bit of timeless elegance to it. So that I absolutely love. It is even more beautiful in person as well. And this would actually make a really beautiful wedding day necklace as well. Think like, I don't know, Italian vineyard vibes with the, oh yes, love that. Next up, ooh, okay, so this is almost the matching necklace to the bracelet, but it's more intertwined. So they've done it. Could I do that with the bracelet then? Oh my gosh, I absolutely could. So you can actually change, there's 4 bracelets in one. You could do exactly what they've done here and intertwine the 2 pearls together so that you get this almost like wrapping detail, like a rope. 4 bracelets in one, and then also 4 necklaces in one. This is the Irie necklace, and again, this is in line with the bracelet. It has the AA grade pearls, sterling silver, and the stunning, stunning clasp detail. So pretty, and this is just over $500 as well. So beautiful. We're not finished there though. Oh my goodness, are we not finished there? But I am feeling all kinds of snazzy. Box number 2. And what I love about pearls is you could literally wear a cashmere jumper and some jeans, but if you add pearls to the outfit, instant elevation. Like, it's a different outfit. It feels completely different. And that's why I really love having a good selection of pearls in my collection. So cute. So cute. So these are adorable. I love these for, like, think about like a bridal shower. These are the Verdant earrings, and these are like a fun bachelorette type earring. Again, set in gold vermeil with the beautiful iridescence of the pearls. See there? So pretty. And if you want something a little bit more fun, a little bit more dingle dangle, they're so delicate. Love those, absolutely love those. Think of this as like, you know, you've got your sunnies on, you're somewhere hot sipping cocktails, and it is, you know, your bachelorette party. I love this as a style. Gorgeous. Seeing as we've got one earring out, let's try and get as many earrings tried on as possible. Oh, I loved these. I loved these. These are their Blossom duos. And actually, I was worried that these were gonna be like really similar to the honeymoon earrings because they have the dual pearl, but these are actually far more delicate. So if you wanted something a bit more like design-wise, intricate but delicate, this is beautiful because look at the flower detail. That literally looks like the apple blossom in my garden. Oh, I love them. I love them already. So, so beautiful. Have to stop saying beautiful. Let's go for exquisite. Should we go for exquisite? Let's pop this in, shall we? Let's see how this looks. Have I got it the right way around? Who knows? Oh, that is so pretty. Really lovely and good for small earlobes as well as larger earlobes because this just hangs down in the perfect place. Oh, they're so, so pretty. So pretty. And I love the way the blossom just sits there all like, these retail for just over $500, but these are AAA grade pearls and certified diamonds as well. So the little diamond in the center of the blossom, beautiful. And just again, that little touch of subtle elegance, which, you know, I very much enjoy. This is real classic elegance because this has almost like an equestrian link detail to it. I don't think that's what's intended here. There you go, you can see a little bit more intricately there how much the light just reflects off of the links. And then at the back it's got that really cute little like touch. I love little details that just show a consideration to them. But this would be so pretty, again, stacked. Even with the fruitful necklace, you could then have a plain gold chain and then something with a little bit of detail to it. This is also gingerbread, by the way. They sent this to me a while ago. This is a little L initial, and it just looks really lovely stacked, just like that. So pretty. And the final box. Okay, this bracelet is adorable and I love the size of it. This is going to be one of, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So this is their seedling bracelet and there is a reason why I love it. There is also the most beautiful little navy stone in the clasp, but I think the thing that I love the most is that I know that this is going to be one of those bracelets that stays put on my wrist, because there's nothing more annoying than bracelets that don't sit how they are supposed to, because I do need a little bit of gold on my stack. Oh my gosh, this stack is gorgeous now, look. I love the pearl editions. This feels like such a classic girls stack. Sometimes I think stacks can sometimes look a little bit messy on the wrist. This is the dream, and the gold has just added such a lovely touch. Ah, this is such a fun game. There is also the seedling earring to match, and the, oh, these are so pretty. I love a pearl stud with a bit of personality, and this definitely has it. These are adorable, and again, they have the diamond in the center and also the gold hardware. There is something about pearls and gold that does something within me that I genuinely, I don't think I can put it into words. Now at the moment I am styling this up alongside a gorgeous little chocolate shirt, and this is pure silk, and again, pearls and silk, special place in my heart. Such a me collection. Oh, love. And then finally, in the final box, what do we have? We also have the seedling necklace, which I think this is what my stack has been waiting for. I think it might be, you know, that is what my spring stack has been waiting for. A little something to sit perfectly between the two. This is like everyday jewelry that I can get on board with. Beautiful, beautiful materials, the highest quality, beautifully made, and also really considered design. Oh, I love it. Just a reminder that my discount code is Lydia15 and you can use it in conjunction with their Mother's Day offer that is running from April the 11th until May the 30th, I believe. I will link everything down below. Now I get the joy of wearing it all. What a joy. I've settled on this necklace stack. So I've got my little evergreen necklace that sits a little bit higher, and then I've got the seedling necklace, and then I actually did go ahead and wrap the pearls of the iris bracelet because I actually loved it, and then I've popped the seedling bracelet on as well, and then I've kept the seedling earrings in too because I thought I'd show you it styled up with my outfit. So this shirt is a gorgeous chocolate silk shirt from Lily Silk, and I wanted to show you it styled up because I have a new addition I think you might like. In fact, I think this is going to be your favourite, I think, of them all, judging by how you guys responded to my Kelly pochette that I got at Christmas time. And I feel like it would be wrong of me not to talk about the Kelly pochette, because I know that that's the one bag that everyone has said, please tell me you kept that bag, and obviously I've not kept that bag. I haven't kept a single one, and that was the hardest one to part with. I'm not gonna lie, that was the hardest one to let go, because obviously it was vintage, so it wasn't really worth as much as the others anyway, but also it was stunning. Like, it was just stunning. And it was two bags in one. It was a clutch, it was a pochette, it was just stunning, and I was loving wearing it, and I felt like I could wear it with my Barber jacket, but I could also wear it with a silky shirt. And so that was one of those bags that I was like, oh, it cuts me deep. And I keep getting messages from people saying, like, it seems like you're really upset about your bags, and I'm like, of course I'm upset because I love them, but it's like this weird bittersweetness where I'm like also really happy, and I don't really know how to explain this. other than it just feels like a catharsis. And I'm so sorry if you're annoyed at me talking about this. And I'm also sorry if you get annoyed by me explaining myself. And I really feel like this is something that I need to talk about just in general. I explain myself because I don't know if you've ever seen me make the news. And every single time I've done that, it's because of a lack of context. And nobody wants to be taken out of context. I think that there is this core centre of my audience that just know who I am. And they don't need me to explain myself because they get me and they understand. And I wish that when I was online, I was just talking to those people, because it would make my content so much better and it would make this job so much easier. But that just isn't the case. Even a few weeks ago, whilst responding to people saying, am I broke? I was called out of touch for that. It didn't make the news, but I was called out of touch for just putting it in the title. It wasn't something I'd said about myself. I was literally answering the question and letting you know that I was answering the question in the title, because this is what happens. And so I know you'll probably find this frustrating, but I have to over explain so that I'm just covering myself, because I am really candid with you guys online. I'm really open. And I want to maintain that, because I think it's what makes our relationship so strong. But with how the industry has progressed and how there is now an interest from like publications and things like that, which I want to be able to utilize them in that way. So I'm not saying this to make you feel sad for me. I just want to mitigate times when maybe I'm taken out of context, because that's really difficult, because I think I'm a nice person and I'm a good person and I never want to upset anyone with what I put online. However, I can't control that and I can't stop it. But what I can do is make sure that hopefully I've made myself clear enough so that if someone then chooses to be offended by what I've said, I've at least made myself crystal clear. Because being offended is a choice. I don't think it's a good choice, personally. I think I saw a Becca Bloom video recently, which I thought was fascinating, where she said that being offended is just showing people that you are easily manipulated. Because if you think about it, I could say so many things. If I wanted to rile you up right now, I could say so many things that would rile you up, and I've just played you like a fiddle. I could say all of the things that I know that the internet does not allow us to say. If I wanted to rile up some controversy, I could do that. I'm not that type of person, but I could. But what that communicates is that you are someone that allows people to affect you in that type of way, to affect your mood, to affect your comfort, your equilibrium and your peace. And so there are people that watch me that are offended by things that I say or things that I do or things that other people say and do. And whilst I can't stop them from choosing that option, I can hopefully make myself crystal clear. And so I know when I'm explaining myself like this, it is so boring. I am so bored of doing it, but I am going to do it because I want my job to be as enjoyable as possible, and I don't want to find myself on the receiving end of an onslaught of unnecessary negativity when I don't have to, so I try and make myself really clear. So my point being is that I'm explaining myself as to why you might be annoyed by me talking about this, but this probably feels like it's not really prevalent in your world, but it is still so prevalent in mine. I open my phone at the moment to between 10 and 30 tags in videos at the moment, people giving a think piece on my decision for myself. And so it's very much still a conversation that's ongoing in my world, so it's still very much at the forefront of my mind, which is why I'm talking about these things. So I apologise if it's boring. You can skip this part if you want. I should also say that I decided a long time ago that the moment that someone makes a piece of content around me or talking about me, I don't engage with people that do that. I don't, because now I know that you're someone that will utilise my name, someone that will potentially take what I say to you and use it in content. So essentially I can't speak to people that I think will do that. And so I can only ever clarify my point on something, but I won't engage with those people. And it's really sad because there have been creators that I really love that I now can't engage with, because why would I put myself in that position? I just wouldn't. And it's sad, but it's a reality. So anyway, still very much part of my world. And I wanted to find a bag that was as beautiful as that Kelly pochette, because the richness of the leather and the chocolate shade, really, I loved it so much. And that was the hardest one to let go of. So I went in search of a vintage like pouch. I wanted something that I could like use in winter and in summer. I didn't want something that was like a raffia pouch. I wanted something that was going to rich up my outfits a little bit. And when I stumbled across this, I didn't know, I didn't even have the dimensions of it on the listing on eBay. And when it arrived, I was like, oh my gosh, even Ali was like, wow, that bag is beautiful. And when I told him the price, that I got it for 80 quid. 80 quid, I'm gonna put the listing because I know you won't believe me. 80 quid, I bid 300 because there was no way this was getting away from me. But I got it for 80 quid because no one else wanted it. So, I'm styling up my gingerbread jewellery with this bag. So this is, I believe it's like a printed croc leather pouch, like it's just a zip pouch. And I have to be honest, for the most part with my Kelly pochette, I wore it under my arm anyway. It looked so chic. And that was what I wanted from this. So this is vintage mulberry, and it is really, really vintage mulberry. Like, look at the label. And this one is made in England. It is made in England, as it should be. And the richness, so it's slightly different to the pochette, whereas this has a bit more of like readiness to it. But when I tell you, imagine, I'm loving Panama hats, even though I don't own a Panama hat, I need to get one. Imagine a Panama hat, glass of Sancerre in hand, slides, linen trousers, this shirt, you're on holiday, you've got your sunnies on, you're living your best life. And your bag, it cost 80 quid. You can take it to the pool, I can pop it into my little wicker bag like that. It fits literally perfectly so that I can use it as like the inner of that too if I want to, but also use it as a clutch. This with just a linen shirt over a bikini by the pool, oh my gosh. But then in winter with your barber, like this is what I would take. I'd literally just take this with my barber, some boots, to go to the pub or to go to farmhouse or whatever. And this is what I mean when I'm like, this has just ignited something within me that I'm like, I love finding things that no one's wearing. I haven't seen anyone wearing this. And I'm like, that's what I should be doing. I should be inspiring you guys to head onto like eBay and Vestiaire and places like that to search out the hidden gems, but something with a bit of personality. Before, I was just wearing bags that everyone was wearing, and you can't just go and buy them. Well, you can, but it's a lot more expensive. This way, I'm like, this is fun. And it's like you're giving someone else's trash a new home. It's not trash, but like, you know what I mean. Someone's trash is another man's treasure. So anyway, back to the point of the video for me to show you me styling up my jewelry, but this is what I love. This to me is fashion and I'm loving it. Beautiful jewelry, beautiful quality jewelry, beautiful accessories, beautiful outfits. Lots of beautiful in this video, but I love it. I'm not going riding today, so I am going to do some of the things that I do best. And I am going to, first of all, knock up the date chocolate bars that Claudia did. She's put the recipe on her Instagram. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zhuzh them together. I'm going to watch the recipe on her Instagram as well, and makes a batch of those for the long bank holiday weekend. Well, Ali just took one look at me and said, have you been crying? And that was a nice marriage. Because I didn't think I looked that tired today, but there we go. You learn something new every single day. Apparently I do. It is a glorious day as well here. I think the forecast for the weather to be really bad was actually very short-lived, and actually it's glorious again, and I have not had a single moment to enjoy it already today. I had physio with Mike. Mike works from Back and Body in TOWCESTER, but he also has clinics in Bedfordshire, and I think he's looking at one in Bicester, but I don't know for definite. He is honestly amazing. So today we did like sound, is it sound frequency or something frequency on my knee? Oh, I didn't like that. But what I did like is what we've done with my shoulder. You know, I suffer with my hands and my ulnar nerve. Well, honestly, it feels like, I don't know what he's done. Well, I do know what he's done because I was there, but my whole shoulder feels like it's dropped from where it usually sits. It's really weird. I keep wanting to put it back there, but it feels like so, like there's been a release. So really, really good appointment with him. If ever you need anyone that's really knowledgeable in something and also very passionate, I would so recommend him. And I'm not just recommending him because he's Claudia's partner. I think we know that I'm past that. He's damn good. I'd just gloss over somewhere and say, oh, it's really lovely. He's so good. And I have a facial this afternoon, which I am so excited about, and I get to have it in my home. What I wanted to do was move the table out of my greenhouse and set it up in there, because I've never had a treatment in my greenhouse before, and I thought that would be so lovely, but I just haven't had the time since I've got back. But I actually have the Queen's facialist coming to do my facial today. She is, I believe, the only facialist that has a royal warrant, so I feel incredibly lucky to have her coming to my home. But I would also say that I always find that, I don't know what it is about people and businesses that hold royal warrants, but I always feel like you must have a standard of professionalism and duty of care and discretion that, you know, it just really on another level. So I'm excited to meet her. She's also done incredibly well-known people like Victoria Beckham, like and what she has is, I believe she has her bee sting facial, which is sort of like her iconic one, and then she offers a vegan alternative, which was fascinating. Yes, so she does a bee sting facial, a collagen facial, or the nettle sting facial, which I'm kind of intrigued by the nettle sting, because I love nettles. Again, I feel like they're a plant that gets a bad rep. I love nettles, so tasty, and just, I love them. Okay, they're a little bit rough around the edges, but hey, who isn't? So I've got her coming very, very shortly. That's the door going though, so I'm guessing it is time for my facial. So yes, better get the door. Oh my goodness me, we've got the wonderful Deborah here, and the boys have already started running off with her things. It's carnage. Absolutely not, Porter. That is not for you, my love. Deborah's going to need that. You naughty sausage. Naughty sausage.
I did actually bring that for your husband, that one.
Oh, so. Okay, we'll give him that. We won't tell him. We won't tell him.
It's like, you know, between his ears and that.
So we're just setting up upstairs in my dressing room. Deborah's very, very well versed in setting things up in different spaces. So we're going to get set up, and she's going to tell me all about the treatment that I'm going to be having today. You are absolutely gorgeous, by the way. Like, your hair is amazing. So beautiful. I feel like such a scruff. Now, there's one thing you need to know about my sausage dogs, is that if you come through the door and make a fuss of them, that means they instantly love you. And that is exactly what Deborah has just done when she's walked through my door. And now we have two very upset sausages that they cannot get to us because all they want is more fuss from Deborah. Yeah, you are so needy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the tails.
Oh my God, aren't they gorgeous?
They know they're not allowed up here, but they want to let us know that they would like to come up here. No, Porty. No. Deborah will come and say hello later. But we are setting up in the dressing room. I feel so lucky to have you here. You have no idea. This is
gorgeous to be here.
Oh God, I'm so grateful that you've travelled all this way. Deborah has come a long, long way, somewhere I've never even heard of. So she was like, I've come from here. I was like, no idea. And these are all your own products?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I feel so lucky.
These are the ones that the dogs haven't eaten.
Oh, perfect. So you brought back up. It's like you knew where you were coming. I love this. Oh, you've got a collagen body and face mist. So
yeah,
is this
really, it seals the makeup on, but it's a collagen treatment.
Is it oil?
No, it's like it's pure collagen.
Can I try it?
Yeah, you can.
I'm obsessed.
You're gonna. Well, I've got some in here as well.
Okay.
Yeah, the face mist is really, really good. So
this truly is such a treat to have Deborah here, because I'm just getting to do this in my dressing room. I get to have the windows open, the sounds of nature outside, and I get to experience her wonderful, wonderful products as well. Oh, my tummy's rumbling already. So this is her brand. This is Heaven by Deborah Mitchell, and I just tried out her collagen body and face mist, which this sounds like a dream. You know, I love a face mist, but anything that is just pure collagen is going to be wonderful to just be popping on your face all of the time. But we are going to be doing a little treatment in my dressing room. I'm going to go and get the tripod and pop you here.
Ooh. Perfect. So what I do is I completely change the way your shoulders feel and your scalp and the way you draw lines and everything. So what it does is it tightens your face, because it's Oh, how lovely. You need
She'll
the
want
other
to-
one off as
She'll
well.
want to come in.
She can come in.
She's allowed in, but she's, oh my God, it's like Animal Farm here.
It's really lovely to be. Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely to have you.
You're so nice.
Oh,
Really nice.
thank you.
So what I'm doing now is I'm going to read your aura
Oh gosh.
and feel the shoulder as it gets tense. Have you pulled it or anything?
So I just had physio on it.
No. It's actually at the end.
What does that mean?
It's just it's your deltoid there. It seems like it's pulling. It must be shrinking in.
Must
It's
be.
pulling. Yeah.
That's
it's pulling out.
fascinating that you know that.
Yeah. You can tell.
That is wild.
So your shoulder is slightly affecting this hip. So if you
Surprising.
have a bit of an ache or something, it is on this side. And that me.
How the hell do you know that?
You can feel it.
That is bizarre. I can't believe you knew that it was this shoulder. That because I wasn't going to tell you that I went to physio because I thought maybe you would want to do some of the treatments.
No.
So I wasn't going to tell you.
I'm going to tell you briefly what I'm doing, so that, and then when I do the massage, you'll be like asleep.
Okay.
You know, so
My favourite
hopefully.
thing.
Yeah, hopefully. This is a cleanser that balances hormones, which is really good.
I've got a lot of problems with my hormones. That smells incredible. That cleanser is lovely. Wow, that is prickly.
So this is apple,
Wow.
and it's exfoliating. It's removing just the surface here. There's a little bit of crunch on the surface. So
Yeah.
you notice when you look in the very magnifying mirror,
Mm.
you can see just a little tiny bit of
Yeah. That smells incredible. What is that?
That's the collagen.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that smells so nice.
So this is a cleansing foam, and it's creamy because it's removing skin.
Right.
So it's removing part of your skin, like, so it keeps it really fresh.
Mhm.
And it's got vitamin C. So these are hydrogels. So instead of a toner, you put these on cotton wool and you remove part of your makeup if there's any left lasting bits. And that's neroli, so that's it's beautiful.
Yeah. I was wondering what the smell was.
So it's neroli is the flowers of an orange.
Oh. Oh wow, that smells incredible.
My hands go slower where there's tension, and there's tension in your jaw.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. At every stage throughout that treatment, I was like, I don't want this to end. Please don't tell me that's the end. That was absolutely blooming incredible. And I genuinely mean that with every soul in my being. That was wonderful. And the products, I don't even know how to explain them. It's like you have to experience them. And it gets better and better with everything that Deborah tells me, because they're made in the UK, in her factory. She puts the best ingredients into the products. They smell wonderful. And she tells me that now that I've used her products, that I'm never going to want to use anyone else's. So, oh God, this is like, I'm out of a job. And my skin, it just, I've literally been saying to Deborah, do you think when you go down and you do the Queen's facials, you could just pop by my house on the way home? Because it takes hugely incredible treatments for me to rave in the way that I am now, because I've had a lot of facials in my life. I've been to a lot of spas, and I've had a lot of products put on my face. And sometimes I can't quite believe that they have the audacity to call it a treatment or a product. That was unbelievable. And I just can't, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. I really hope you come and visit me again. So does Porty, even if you just come and see Porty. That was wonderful.
Oh, they've left you a little card. Yeah, that's our little royal warrant there.
Stop it. That is so, because you're the only like facialist that has a royal warrant.
At present, but I'm her facialist, and so I've got a royal warrant for that treatment that you've just had.
Wow.
And that hasn't ever been done. So
calling the big guns.
Yeah. It's there. Look.
That is so
I'm not
cool.
proud of it or anything.
No.
But...
Oh my gosh. That is the and this is unbelievable.
I know, it's lovely.
I love this. And the way that it smells is just so nice. How do you know how the Queen found you?
No. They phoned up my salon in Shifnal, and I thought it was a skincare company, because I did used to get, because I was in the papers quite a bit, and I was like the top 6 facialists of Harper's and Queen in the world, apparently, years ago. And there was loads of things about my facials. So when the phone call came in, I thought it was Clarence. And it wasn't, it was Clarence House.
Oh my gosh! How funny!
I was like, oh, yeah. So I thought, what's Clarence doing phoning me? Oh, it's Clarence House.
Wow, that is so cool. Oh my goodness.
And I went there and
like, this doesn't look like Clarence.
Yeah, met the king as well there.
Wow.
So, and so I did a treatment on the Queen and I met the king.
And so how long have you been doing her facials?
Since 2006. So almost
nearly 20 years.
Nearly 20 years. Yeah.
Wow. Now I totally understand why you've been doing her facials for 20 years, because that was exquisite, absolutely exquisite. So thank you so much.
It's wonderful to meet you.
Oh, thank you so much.
I really love it.
Barclay, he is absolutely obsessed with Deborah. This is the 3rd time.
He's sneaking up here.
Barclay, you are not supposed to be up here. This is Deborah's doing. What? I actually can't believe this.
You want a facial, don't you?
Yeah, well, he just wants to be around you.
Tired. It's because I've been up since 5:30, and I'm probably going to have an early night this evening. But Ali is playing golf this afternoon. Sorry, I could see a pheasant in the garden, and when there's a pheasant, and I'm like, why does our chickens look like that? The pheasant, they're just running wild. He's playing golf today, and I have to be honest, it's the first day of the bank holiday weekend, and obviously Ali and I were away, so I'm very much taking this bank holiday weekend as time to chill, and I just want to potter in my kitchen. I have so many flowers. These are my flowers that I brought back from the Newt. I have these flowers that came from Holland Cooper. I don't think they're going to last much longer, but they look so gorgeous. I have these wonderful flowers from the Allies of Skin team. I received rosé from the Arden girls, and honestly, I felt so spoiled. I came home to so many flowers, like all of my cards. I do need to have a bit of a blitz of the house. I grew some wheatgrass for Ali, and I don't think he enjoyed it on his eggs, so it's definitely gone over now, and I've planted some fresh one. It's something that's really good to add to smoothies, but I think he forgets. I grow all of these things for him and he forgets. But yeah, I just fancy pottering at home and having a little bit of some downtime at home. I might have some of the girls over. 2 of my friends are pregnant at the moment. We might do something tomorrow. And there's just so much that I want to be like making. I've obviously said I wanted to tackle making my own butter. I was spurred on when I went to the Newt because they reminded me how good Marmite butter is. So I think I want to try and just utilise the butter that we've got in our fridge at the moment. And I want to make some Marmite butter, and I want to make some fresh chive butter. Because if you didn't know, you can freeze butter for up to 12 months. And that's definitely something that I would love to do. But also, bringing someone butter and a fresh sourdough, what a gift. I'm also about to pop a fresh sourdough into the oven. I've now basically got into this rhythm that every single time I make sourdough, I make 2 loaves. And it's bringing me a lot of joy. I basically bake one, and that's for us, but we've also got a backup, say if we have people over or if we eat loaves of bread. And then if not, I can freeze it, but then also I've got a loaf if we just so happen to be going somewhere that I can bake, and it's becoming a very nice little rhythm. But now it's time to take it to the next level, and I actually have a fridge full of butter. We actually have about 4 of these rolls of Dalesford butter. So I think what I'm going to do is harvest some fresh chives, make some chive butter, and I might try and do it in some smaller pots, see if it goes a bit further, and then I can freeze them. And that is one thing. Do you know what's so lovely about having lived in this house is that we've really learned what we want for our next house. We've learnt about how much space we need, how many rooms we need, what other rooms would be more important than necessarily having loads of bedrooms. Like, I could definitely have sacrificed a bedroom for a pantry and those kinds of things. So it's like, it's really nice learning that in my next house, freezer space is going to be something that I definitely think I want a lot more of, just so that I can freeze my produce. So I'm gonna get all of my notes ready. But how I do this, because I know the things that I want to make, but what I do is I find the recipes that I want to make. I'll probably tweak them to my own tastes. I also then find a way of storing them so that it's beautiful, so that they can be gifted, and then that's when I execute. But first of all, I need to get my first loaf into the oven, because that is always where the homemaking begins. I've also decided that I'm going to be decanting all of my supplements because they make me very sad. I'm affected by these things. It's just the way I am. They make me very sad, sat in these out of sync jars and tubs on my side. So I'm going to be getting some jars and bits to store these in so that I can just keep them on the shelf. I go through them so quickly, it makes so much sense. In fact, I'm actually going to pop my colostrum into this one. I think it should fit. I hope so anyway. Ooh, I'm wasting it. It's such a bizarre substance, this colostrum, but I think it's working for me. I find having things on display means I use them more. So having a pantry that's open like this is so useful, but also it means I actually remind myself to use them. So that's a really handy thing to do. I mean, this is a brand new jar. Where's the rest of it? Why is there so much missing? Just fill it up. So that is, oh my blooming heck. That is my electrolytes. I just like having a little bit of a mismatch on the shelves. By the way, if you're wondering why I've changed my outfit, it's one of those bizarre weather days where if the sun goes in, it's really cold. So I decided to change my top because the silk was lovely, but better suited to a warmer day. Also, if I'm going to be doing homey bits, we do that in white. We don't do that in chocolate. I've just taken my loaf out of the oven and I heard a little bang on the window and it set the dogs off. I went and looked out of Ali's office window and I saw a little blue tit and he was breathing heavily and then it just fell onto its side. And I thought, if he stays there, he's going to get, you know, one of either the chickens will eat him or her, or Lumi will. And so I went and I picked him up. I'll pop a picture of him in my hand. He's actually in here at the moment. I'm just going to get some more air holes in here. But this is basically what they said to do, is to contain. He's looking a bit better. He's looking a bit better. I need to get some air holes in the top first. I've just taken the loaf up. I'm faffing a bit because I want to make sure he's okay. I feel like he needs some bedding or something. But let's get some air holes in the top first and foremost. Just don't want to hurt him. I should have done that first, but I was just panicking. I will show you him in a second. I just don't know if I can get air holes in this. He's looking a bit better. Who knew that gingerbread boxes were going to come in so handy today? I can't believe I picked him up in my hand. There he is. Made him a little bed. I'm going to keep putting holes in the top and then I'm going to put him somewhere quiet. So I brought him into the guest ensuite. I'm just going to give him some water. I made a little bed. Oh, I hope he's all right, bless him. His leg looks like it's hurting. I've got a little dish here. Just going to give some water. Ali will have some food because he feeds the birds. I'm just going to leave him quietly.
gonna leave him.
So I think it's going to be touch and go for that little guy for a while before I refer to him as a new lodger. But the sourdough's out of the oven and Ali has asked me to try and make the sourdough a bit denser. I baked it for longer. It might be the flour that I'm using. I'm using a fine lady flour. He quite likes it when it's a bit tougher on the inside. I really like it light and fluffy because it almost doesn't feel like sourdough even though it is. But whilst that cools on the side, I'm going to head to the kitchen garden to pick some herbs so that we can make a little garlic chive butter, because I've got these ramekins left over from our birthday. Ali's mum and stepdad got us a really wonderful hamper with loads of different cheeses and rare bits in and things like that. And I always keep these pots because now, not only are they good for serving like olives and little bits and bobs in, but also to put butter in and freeze it. That will be good. So I've kept loads of those. So I'm gonna go head down to there. I'm gonna grab a little bowl so I can put my herbs in there and get them ready.
I'm always coming to find these hooligans doing something they should not be doing. Get out, Snowdrop, get out. So it is a bit of a blustery day, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab myself some chives. I'm also going to grab myself some mint. I am hopefully going to take out the sage. Most of my herbs have done really, really well in these trugs, but my goodness me, the sage has taken on some of the flavour of the mint, so it tastes awful. So that needs to come out and we'll just have this as a mint trug. I think I will also grab some lemon balm and I have some parsley in the greenhouse. So I'm going to chop all the way down. Few bunches, because these chives are doing really well. I'll give it a bit of a haircut down here. Some chives there. It's just going to do some mint over here. Get off of my bloomin' chives.
And what you will end up with is a little bowl that looks a bit like this. We've got some regular mint, we've got chives, we've got some chocolate mint, and we've got some parsley. So I'm going to take this into the kitchen and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it so that I've got fresh herbs in the house, because one thing I often fancy is like a mint tea in the evening, but I don't necessarily want to go in the dark to the kitchen garden, so I will have this in the fridge. It's also something that I've recently done with my asparagus as well. So I'm going to take these in and I'm going to show you what I do. Now, if you're anything like me, you want things to look nice when they're in your fridge. And so you're going to want to have a bit of an assortment of jars and things like that. We've started keeping all of our jars pretty much, just because we're realising how much we can use them for. So this is one of the old chili jam jars. And when you've got maybe a shorter bunch of herbs, what you do is you just pop a couple of centimetres of water into the bottom. And I think this one will probably be good for the chocolate mint. And you don't wash them until you need to use them. So if you're wanting to make yourself a chocolate mint tea, by the way, that popped in a jar, in a little mini vase, is also brilliant because this keeps for so long. So you can have little posies of mint. I love doing these in like a bathroom or somewhere where you want a bit of freshness. They look so dramatic, and also if you've got like purple flowers, they make such a great like filler greenery. Oh, it's so dramatic. So those look great in there. I think we'll probably get the parsley in here. Like I said, just a couple of inches. Now my parsley was a little bit floppy because it hadn't been watered quite enough, but I'm going to see how this does in here. It might need a different jar. We'll see how we go because we're going to be using that today anyway. So I would say for this big portion of mint that I've got, I'm going to use this Wex jar because I think that will be quite big and nice. And again, you just pop it in, and the good thing about mint is it will literally live on water. It might start to go a bit leggy after a while, but this will last for so long, even in your house, just out on the side. You would be able to put that in a vase, in a little posy vase in your home as well, and it would just look equally as effective. Mint grows so quickly that before you know it, you'll have more. And the chives as well. Now, if you don't like a chivy fridge, this might not be for you, but I bloomin' love the smell of chives. Oh my gosh. My husband probably won't love this, but just pop them in some water like that. I've got my butter on the side, ready to go. This is what I have been doing with our asparagus as well. This is almost like creating a bit of a herb garden in your fridge that you can access a bit easier. So if your kitchen garden maybe isn't quite so much of a kitchen garden, because I know that a lot of us have added these into spaces where we could, rather than, you know, having kitchen gardens that were part of the house. But whether you want to put it on one of the shelves or one of the shelves within there, it just looks so gorgeous. I actually can't cope. It's such a beautiful thing in a fridge anyway, but so useful. It is so useful. And like I said, if I want mint tea, I've got it. I can obviously have lemon balm, but I'm going to be using the parsley and the chives to make some butter. Well, I'm going to use butter that I've already got to make a nice garlicky, herby butter to use with the sourdough, which I think is going to be bloomin' lovely. So I've got my butter, not homemade, but one day it will be. I've got the zest of 1 lemon, 1 garlic clove. I've gone for a good sized garlic clove, just because Ali doesn't like anything too garlicky. I've got sea salt. This is like the Cornish Co sea salt. I've practically got shares in it at the moment because I ordered tubs of the stuff, obviously for sourdough making. I've got the chives and I've got the parsley. I'm following a recipe that is on my Thermomix, and I am just adapting it slightly, not putting any tarragon leaves in there. But other than that, it's just bunging it all in a processor. So really, it's not really a recipe. If you're asking me, it's just a bung it all in and hope for the best. 1 garlic clove, 1 chive, 3 chives, sorry, cut into 3 pieces. 5 leaves of parsley. So I'm going to give these a bit of a wash as well. Now, what dictates a parsley leaf? Is it the whole thing, or is it these individual ones? We're about to find out. I'm going to go with the big bit is the leaf. I've given that an extra whiz. I might regret it, but we shall see. Whew. Stinging on the old eyes, which are already stinging from the early morning. Get that lemon in there. 1 teaspoon of coarse sea salt. Your wish is my command. Wowzers. Would you look at that? So it says to shape it into a cylinder, but I'm going to whack this into some bowls. So you could make this in batches and then freeze it as little gifts as well. I'm hoping that this will be something that we bosh through on a weekend, but I'm going to try it. First things first, I have to cut the fresh sourdough. Okay, the moment of truth. I mean, it looks fantastic. Oh, wow. Wow. So good. Right, my verdict on the recipe and how I would tweak it. It's not a huge amount I would change. I would just go for less garlic. I think if you were doing this as like almost like a dressing for garlic bread, so a really nice crusty sourdough homemade garlic bread, this would be so good. Really, really strong and intense. I think for everyday use, as something that's a little bit more subtle, I'd go for like 1/4 of a garlic clove, just because I know that Ali's gonna love the taste of this, but he's gonna hate the way it lingers in his mouth. If you're like Ali, definitely go for 1/4, but on days when you're not going anywhere, this is just wonderful. It is so delicious. I love the freshness of the lemon, and it is just a triumph, an absolute triumph. So next job is to make my own butter and then use my herbs. Oh, I love it. The other thing I would say is definitely get yourself smaller ramekins, because you are going to want to preserve this because it's got obviously fresh herbs in it. That means moisture, which means it's going to spoil a lot quicker. So I would say smaller little ramekins or just smaller portions. Obviously you can use your super things, the things that I got on Amazon, to freeze, and I actually think I might do a little bit of that now. These super cubes are amazing because they are silicone, and the portion size is 2 tablespoons. So it's a really nice amount. So if you wanted to just get out a knob of butter or 2, if you're hosting or if you're making a garlic bread, this is a great way to do it. So actually, I'm gonna decant some of this into here and freeze it, because that is the smart thing to do. Okay, so I've got about 4 there, perfect amount, and then I've got this amount for Ali to try later. But yes, that's gonna go in the freezer, and then I'm gonna pop it into freezer bag, and it just means that I've got to label it, but we've got some nice garlic butter. A really good little tub to use, I got these from Amazon, and I've actually got my homemade beauty products in them, is this. This would be such a good little portion size of butter to gift to someone. I know it's small, but that would actually last them. If it was just a herb butter like that you're going to use a little bit more sparingly, that would last really well. You might want something a little bit bigger if it's normal butter, but thought that was a good touch. We've done the herb butter, now it's time for the Marmite butter, and that is literally just butter and Marmite. So I'm just going to do it to taste, and I'll do the same thing. Freeze it, keep it, whatever. But I think Ali will prefer this one on a day-to-day basis. Oh my goodness, I've just checked on the blue tit and he's recovered. When I went and checked on him the last time, I honestly thought he was a goner. He was all puffed up, he was panting, and then I walked in and I turned the light on and I heard like rustling around, and I've opened it very gently and he looks okay. So I think Ali's gonna be home any minute. I'm gonna wait for him and we're going to let him go. He would not have survived if I had left him there. Either the chickens would have eaten him, because if you don't know, chickens are cannibals, or Lumi would have got him, or the dogs. So yeah, it's one of those things where you're just kind of like, I don't want to interfere or intervene, but I think I did the right thing. Well, I was going to make Marmite butter, but then I realized I didn't have any Marmite, so I'll be making that tomorrow instead. But we are going to give releasing this little one a bit of a chance. Look at him.
Step away so he doesn't feel threatened.
Well, I literally just turned round and watched him hop onto the box, and he's gone. Oh my gosh, that is the happy ending that I hoped for. I feel like all too often with animals it is not a happy ending, but that has made my absolute day. I literally just watched him go bloop, and then he just flew off, and I didn't even have a second to get my camera to show you.
Oh my goodness me. Well, I am pooped. If I didn't tell you enough times, I am pooped. I didn't sleep very well last night, and I woke up really early, and that means that my eyes have been sore and stinging all day. That is the dishwasher coming on. Ali has just gone out for drinks with his friends, so I am going to curl up on the sofa with a book because I wasn't able to make Marmite butter. I've got the stuff to make butter from scratch, so I'm excited to give that a whirl. I've started a new book which is called The Secrets of Flowers by Sally Page, and it says the smallest treasures can hold the biggest memories. I actually fell off of the book reading hype. I think it was about early March, late February. I just stopped reading. I think work tends to take over, and I feel quite creative in the evenings, and so I do a lot of planning and thinking and blah 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 in the evenings. I stopped reading and I really missed it, so I've started this book and I am going to curl up on the sofa. I might pour myself a glass of wine, and I'm just gonna put on a Nancy Myers playlist. I think Shelby Taylor's got the best Nancy Myers playlist at the moment. So I'll link that down below. I'll pop that on and I am going to snuggle on the sofa and get an early night. Now it has started raining, so this is what I love about spring, because in the daytime you can spend a bit of time in the garden, and then if the weather changes, it's the perfect excuse to get into the living room with a book and a glass of wine and just enjoy the differing moments of each season. So I'm going to clear this, get the fire roaring, as I do best, and snuggle down. Now, I've started a bottle of wine. As you know, I mentioned that I asked Carrie to do a little bit of like wine cellar planning for me, and she brought around a bottle of the M&S collection wine and asked me to try it if I liked it. I've taken a sip. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. She's so good. And I have to be honest, I was skeptical because when I was reading about it, I thought that, well, it says citrusy, which I don't like tropically citrus. I like more minerally wines. But this almost has like a, well, maybe it's because I've just had dinner, I don't know, but it's almost like a flowery, florally one. So I love it. I don't know whether it's intended to be like that, but that is what I'm getting. And that's why you don't listen to me when describing wines, but it just feels delicate. That's what I like about it. It feels nice and delicate. Well, all I'm going to say is so much for my early night last night. That is all I'm going to say, and we're not going to talk about early nights or being tired ever again. I wanted to show you that I froze my cubes of butter and then I've just popped them in one of these bags. Now, I'll always use stasher bags, but they do take up more space, and at the moment our tiny freezer that's in the kitchen is not the best. I might store these things in the tiny freezer in the shed instead, but I did let Ali know that I want a freezer for Christmas. But a big freezer, and he said, but what about the drinks? And I was like, we're gonna have a bar, okay? If they don't fit in the bar, then we've got too many drinks. But he did also pick me up some double cream. Now, I would really like to ensure that I'm getting this locally. I actually asked at the livery where Atlas is whether they have dairy cows, but they don't. So I need to find somewhere locally that does milk or cream, so that I can use that. This is British milk. It does say certified standards, pasteurised double cream. I'm going to use this to make some butter, and I'm also going to do another round of cubes of butter, but this time I'm not going to use the garlic. I'm just going to do the parsley and the chives, just to see how it is. I thought doing a little herby one using my herb garden in the fridge will be good, potentially. So I'm going to do that now. I've labelled this just basically garlic and herb butter, and I've popped the date on it in gold pen because that's all I had. I use these little clips, I get them from Amazon. Someone said on one of my previous videos, that is a clothesline clip. I know, but they are perfect for so many jobs around the house, and I much prefer them to the plastic ones. So that is good to go back in the freezer. And I am going to whip up, pardon the pun, some butter, homemade butter, and then probably just give it a whiz with some herbs.
I baked a fresh sourdough. I know, you're sick of seeing them, but I'm really getting good at the cross. I bought a little sourdough blade on Amazon. I don't think it's the best of the best, but it's good enough for me, and I've been using that to do these like crosses in the middle, and they definitely come out better than using the knives, because we've already done the loaf that I did yesterday, so I will actually get my starter out again tomorrow and start the whole process again. I've actually spent the afternoon at the stables and just went for a short ride with the boys. It's so funny at the moment, every single time we tack up it starts raining, and then we get back to the yard and it stops raining, and it's really annoying. But I swear I have bought the most high maintenance horse. So the thing that we are trying to balance at the moment is Atlas's weight, because he's been a very happy chunky boy for a very long time, and then we've turned him out and he's lost a load of weight. So at the moment I'm trying to get the balance of his feed right, because I want a healthy horse. I don't want him too chunky, but I do also want him fed and satisfied. So at the moment he is
literally we're just giving him food, giving him food, giving him food. And then when we get to the point where we're like, okay, that's enough. But it's kind of balancing, because also the fields, there's been hardly any rain. So his paddock doesn't have a huge amount of grass at the moment. So there's a lot of haylage going in there and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like getting the balance right with him at the moment. But it's one of those things that you've just got to keep your finger on the pulse and just manage. And I just hope that he doesn't get too chunky, because I am a feeder. I'm honestly like, I'm terrible. So I'm surprised that we're at this point, but he's honestly, after our rides, it's my favorite thing, because he's like, do you know what it is? It feels like, you know, when you go on like a good walk or a dog walk, and it just reminds you, grounds you, reminds you that you're like, all of your problems are in perspective. And he's like had his hack, and he comes back and he is so soft and cuddly. I can give him so many kisses, and oh, I love it. He just goes, oh yeah, I'm good now. I'd like some food. Anyway, so I'm going to use my Thermomix, which has like pre-settings on it, but genuinely you are just pouring this in and whisking it until it turns into butter. So all I need is the butterfly whisk. Butterfly whisk. This just pops in here, and it sort of alters the functionality of the thing, because basically what this does, not that you can see it, but it mills, it whisks, it cooks, it does loads of things. So for me, I find this, you know, when people are like buying a KitchenAid here and something else here, I find that the majority of the time, this does half of the things in it. We had a rice cooker, this cooks our rice, so we just do our rice in here. You make smoothies in it, so you don't need like a NutriBullet, and it just means that you've got one thing on your kitchen counter that works really well. So insert butterfly whisk. Now insert, ooh, cream. Although actually, I'm going to get this to room temperature first, because those details matter. We try again. It took so long, my machine has turned off, but we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. I think it's room temperature, I think we're good. Place 500 grams of double cream. I'm just gonna do the last of that. That's no problem. Okay, next, insert mixing bowl. Wow, forget that you get two things out of this. You get buttermilk and butter. So that's separated really nicely. Strain contents of mixing bowl through simmering basket to separate the butter from the buttermilk. That's a good job I've got a simmering basket, isn't it? Now I want to keep the buttermilk. I'm sort of making something slapdash here, but I want to get the buttermilk out of the butter. It needs straining. Wow, it's so light and fluffy. So I think this is where you need the muslin cloths. Ooh, so I don't have cheesecloth, but I do have what we use to strain our honey, so I'm going to try that instead, to just get the last of the buttermilk out. So I'll pop that in there. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, the butter starts going through that. That's not good. Squeezed it too hard. Well, I've got my butter in there. I've got an absolute mess. But I also have buttermilk, which is so cool. Ali is making us salmon for dinner, and he's used the garlic butter on that. That'll be so nice. It's got lemon in it as well. That'll be lovely. And there you have it. That is garden herb butter, my garden herb butter, and it looks so different. I'm going to let it chill, and I'm going to pop it into some of my supers to freeze them down as well, so that I've got extra. I definitely need to get some muslins for squeezing out the buttermilk, because I think there's probably a little bit too much buttermilk left in here, but never mind. We've also got
buttermilk that I can use for baking and things like that as well. I wonder if this is nice in coffee. I did think this would probably be quite nice and sweet in coffee, but maybe it'd be a bit much. I'm going to do some research for what we can use this for as well. But if you know of anywhere in Northamptonshire that has like dairy cows, please let me know, because I would love to have a more locally sourced milk sauce. Sorry, I meant a locally sourced cream, so that I can use local produce to mix with my herbs and bits and pieces like that. So I am using these so much, you have no idea. I have so many things that I want to like freeze in here. These are so good, so I'll link these down below. But now I am going to take my butter and just press it into these little, it looks so pretty. Just push it in. It's really easy to just clean up and get bits into the sections. It's almost like making an ice cream. I cannot express to you how fulfilling this is. I feel so lucky that I get to like learn these things now, and that like there's one thing growing up being taught it, but being able to learn it later on in life is also such a gift. And perfecting it, knowing what you like, and it's just lovely. Almost feels like a sort of new view of the world. I'm going to keep some for me as well. I think a little ramekin, I always keep these little things. A little ramekin like that is just going to be perfect for refrigerating some homemade butter for us to enjoy over the weekend. My next thing that I'm going to make is Marmite butter. So I know that Ali will love that. Hokey cokey, fresh butter for me. Fresh butter for in the freezer. In the fridge it goes. Freezer, sorry. I have just been doing some reading on the uses for buttermilk, and apparently it's really good for digestive health as well. So I'm trying to think of ways for me to eliminate things that I'm buying and replace them with things that I'm almost creating at home. And so if I'm making butter and creating buttermilk, perhaps there's something like kefir that maybe we don't need to put on the shop anymore. If you've got this, it's really good for gut health. It's also used in natural skincare, which is so funny because I've just had something arrive. I want to try and make a garden like herb infused face mist, but it can also be used in smoothies and drinks. Also brining meat, salad dressings, fried chicken, donuts, muffins, scones, cakes, breads, fluffy pancakes, waffles, biscuits. So really good thing to have, to be honest. And I just made my own. I mean, I didn't milk it from the cow, but how lovely that from 2 tubs of cream, we've got 2 other products. I just think it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. And it's funny, it's the bank holiday weekend when I'm filming this, and obviously I've gone riding with Claudia today, and Ali and I were away earlier on in the week, but I've reached a point where I really enjoy spending time at home, often on my own. If Ali's going out doing things, playing golf, seeing his friends, I really enjoy just time at home on my own, pottering and learning new things and trying things out. I think it was a post-COVID thing to always look like you're sort of doing something socially, which is also very, very lovely and not something I'm knocking. But I tell you what, I really do enjoy my own company. And I really do enjoy spending time on my own, and I love seeing my friends, and I love doing all of those things, but I also am really comfortable and happy spending my weekends, even a bank holiday weekend, in the kitchen, just doing things. I'm gonna try and get in the garden tomorrow. I don't think the weather's as beautiful as it was, but I definitely think a day in the garden will be lovely. But I'm gonna leave this vlog here. I will link all of my gingerbread pieces in the description box down below. I swapped back to my honeymoon earrings for riding today, just because they don't have a pin at the back. And so they're always more comfortable when I've got my riding hat on, but also it's just a bit more comfortable there. So I love changing out my earrings for occasions, but these are pretty much my baseline earrings now. But I kept the pearls on. Yes, I ride in pearls. I do ride in pearls. Ali is cleaning out the chicken coop.
I am going to spend the rest of the evening on the sofa, and that'll be incredibly boring for you. So yes, my discount code for Gingerberry is Lydia15. You can have that on top of the Mother's Day deals. I'll put all of the details in the description box down below. So if you wanted to get any gifts, if you wanted to treat yourself, if you wanted maybe some classic pieces in your wardrobe for spring, summer, then I hopefully have got you covered with the items that I have been wearing and will be wearing for the foreseeable future. If you like spring country garden inspired collections, seedling collections, you will love these. So I'll link them all down below. But I will see you in my next vlog. Thank you so much for watching.